Hello, ladies. Here we are in our final gathering for our journey through the book of John and the invitation, come and see. It has been an incredible season for me and for our team because what we realized was heading into this book of John that we knew so much about Jesus that we oftentimes neglect how much we know Jesus himself, that personal one-on-one time. And that's what this book is really designed to do. This study was designed to do, was to give you more opportunities to encounter Jesus face to face. We started off in the very beginning of the book of John with a question from these guys who said, who is this guy? Who is he, right? As Jesus comes into town, who is this guy? And Jesus's response to them was, come and see. Come and live life with me for a bit. Come and see my heart and my character and how I live day-to-day life, and I think you'll get to know who I am. And what I love is that today I'm going to read for you out of chapter 21, the very last chapter of the book of John, and it's incredible to watch how this invitation to come and see goes full circle. And so in John 21, it says, afterwards, Jesus appeared again to his disciples. So you need to know that this is the third time that Jesus has seen his disciples since his crucifixion and resurrection. And so this is after all of that has taken place. And it says, together, I am going out fishing, Simon Peter told them. And they said, we'll go with you. So they went out and got into their boats, but the night they caught nothing. Early in the morning, Jesus stood on the shore, but the disciples did not realize it was Jesus. He called to them, friends, haven't you any fish? No, they answered. He said, throw your net on the right side of the boat and you will find some. When they did, they were unable to haul the nets in because of the large number of fish. Then the disciple whom Jesus loved said to Peter, it is the Lord. As soon as Simon Peter heard him say, it is the Lord, he wrapped his outer garment around him, for he had taken it off, and he jumped into the water. The other disciples followed in the boat, towing the net in full with fish, for they were not far from shore, but 100 yards. When they landed, they saw a fire of burning coals there with fish on it and some bread. Jesus said to them, bring some of the fish that you have caught. Simon Peter climbed aboard and dragged the net ashore. It was full of large fish, 153, but even with so many, the net never tore. Jesus said to them, come and have breakfast. None of the disciples dared ask him, who are you? They knew it was the Lord. Jesus came, took the bread, and gave it to them, and they did the same with the fish. This was now the third time Jesus appeared to his disciples after he was raised from the dead. So we see that come and see invitation again, but this time it was come and have breakfast. An intimate thing, a daily routine. Come and live your daily life with me, he says to the disciples. And what I love is that it says that they did not have to ask who he was because they already knew. They had spent so much time with the Lord that all it took was him speaking to them across the sea for them to know it was his voice and to know that it was Jesus. Yet at the beginning of this journey, they had to ask him, who are you? And he extended that invitation, knowing full well that if the disciples went with him on this journey, if they saw his heart, his character, his perspective, they would come to know and love the person of Jesus. And isn't that the same for me and you? Maybe you started this journey into the book of John saying, who are you, Jesus? Who are you? And he says, come and see, because I want to show you through my word who I am, the consistency of my character, the faithfulness of my breath in your lungs. I want you to see it for yourself. And now we sit on the other side of the crucifixion where we can say, I have encountered Jesus. I know him. I know him intimately. I know him personally. I've sat with my heart facing his long enough. I have encountered Jesus. It's not that I know about him, it's that I know him. And what that changes is our obedience to him in the long run. When Jesus speaks to us, when our heart gets poked to move in a certain direction, we don't have to say, God, is that you? But we can know full well that it is God because we know his character. We know the sound of his voice. We know what it feels like for our heart to beat in one accord with the heartbeat of Christ himself. And so this invitation never stops giving. Come and see. Come and have breakfast with me, right? And then as we continue to reading in chapter 21, Jesus says to Simon Peter, follow me. He says, do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? He asks 3 times. And then finally he says, then follow me. Follow me. Go and tell other people what you've encountered. Go and tell them who I am. Take care of my sheep. Take care of the people that belong to me. Love one another well. And that's the same invitation he gives to you. Continue to follow me. Come and see me. Come and spend time with me in my presence. And that is the heart of Ignite Life, is that women would be spending intimate, personal time in the presence of Jesus. Get alone with this book. Get alone in prayer. Let your heart cries reach the throne of heaven, and pray for one another, for those sisters in your crave group, for your friends who don't know Jesus yet, and simply continue to extend the invitation of Jesus. Just come and see. I've had the opportunity to sit down with different friends along the way and who didn't know Jesus, and I extended that invitation to them when they said, hey, why do you believe all this stuff? Why do you give your life over to Jesus? Why do you go to church so much? And I simply have said to them, come and see. And we've sat together and we've opened this book together. And some of them, after encountering Jesus, have given their life to Christ, and their lives have been different ever since. Other people have said, I'm not ready to do that yet. And it's okay. The invitation is constant. Come and see. And it's our hope that you've come and see the difference that Jesus makes in someone's life. And so spend some time with your crave groups today and just share how the presence of Jesus has changed you over this year.